Welcome to the answers to the constructions and loci problems. Hopefully you've had a go at these. You will have need to have used compass and ruler. As you see, I've got them handy here. So first of all, we are going to construct an angle bisector. And it's very straightforward. Get your compass, stick it in the point there, open it out a bit, and lots of people say how wide. It doesn't really matter. If you don't make it wide enough, then it's really fiddly, and if you make it too wide, it goes off the page. And then you stick your point in there, and then you move it, and stick your point in just here. See exactly where I've got it. And again, if you haven't made it wide enough, the lines won't cross over, because what you're after is this little cross here. Do notice, however, I haven't adjusted it. I did all these three on the same setting. And then I stick my ruler on there, and let's adjust it so it lines up nicely, and then we draw a line along the ruler. Okay, and that line is called the angle bisector. That's the name of the line, and you can get a feel for if you've done a good job, because this bit here and this bit here should be the same size, because you're bisecting. That means you're chopping it in half. Okay, so a bit trickier now. We've got a triangle, and it says draw all the locus of all points that are equidistant from PQ and PR. Now, equidistant is code for drawing a bisector. And you have to look at the next bit to see what sort of bisector it is. There's only two. Now, PQ and PR, they're lines. And that means we're going to draw an angle bisector. If they'd been points, just say it had said P and Q, for example, then it would have been a line bisector or a perpendicular bisector. Anyway, we're just going to get on and do that. So we grab the compass, PQ and PR. Notice they both start at P. That's the angle we're going to bisect, and you've seen me do this already. So one there, stick it in again, there we go. And one there, get the ruler, twiddle it round, and draw a line on it. And that's our angle bisector. Now, I'm just thinking I'd better go all the way across here. It's always better to make these lines longer than shorter. And that is the answer to A. That's the locus of all points that are equidistant from PQ and PR. Now, the locus of points that are 7 centimeters from Q. So I need my ruler, and I get my compass, and 7 centimeters from Q is a circle, so I put my compass on the ruler and I'm going to go 7 centimeters. Can you see how it's on 7? Okay, it's not exactly, but you need to be as exact as you can. They won't give you, they'll give you a couple of millimeters. And we stick it in Q, which is up here. Will it go in Q? Go on. There we go. And we draw our circle. Now, those are exactly 7 centimeters from Q. Wherever you go on that circle, it's 7 centimeters from Q. How do I know that? Well, Q is the center of the circle, because that's where I put the point. Now, the last part of this question says to shade in the region that shows all the points that are less than 7 centimeters from Q and closer to PQ than PR. And they both relate to the two things I've already drawn. So less than 7 centimeters from Q, that means inside the circle. And closer to PQ than PR, that means on the PQ side of the line. So, inside the circle and on the PQ side, that to me sounds like it's over here. So it's inside the circle, and you're probably thinking to yourself, cool, what sort of maths teacher is that? He's made a mistake. And you're absolutely right, I have, but making a mistake isn't the end of the world. It's making sure you spot your mistake, and there we go. And I might just stick that back in afterwards. There we go. Never looks quite as nice after you've made a mistake. So, inside the circle and closer to PQ than PR. Now, is that correct? Well, I suppose it hasn't said inside the triangle. Oh, it does. It says it at the top. So we are happy there. It says inside the triangle. So inside the triangle, inside the circle, and closer to PQ than PR. Right. Question number 3. A yard. You can tell this was written in America, can't you? A garden. Let's be proper about this. So it's got all this waffle about this yard with lamps and midpoints and all sorts of stuff and Petra. And there's a question. I mean, this isn't accurately drawn, and it seems to me that it would be wise to do some accurate drawing here. So I'm going to use a scale of 1 centimetre is 2 metres. So that means I'm going to go on to 15 there. Let's get it a bit more exact there. And then I'm going to go up. You have to bear with me if this doesn't work. So it's 20, so it should be 10, shouldn't it? Okay, so I'm going to have to cheat here. There's the 10. This is a bit you can't do in your book. Let's move that down there. And then we'll clone that and stick it over here. And then we'll do the same to the bottom. Clone that and stick it on top. So there's our scale drawing of the yard. And now we can start putting bits on. So 1 at A and 1 at M, the midpoint of BC. So BC, there's B, there's C. The midpoint is going to be 5 centimetres, so we can just do that with a ruler, can't we? So 5 centimetres, there we are, there's our midpoint M. And the lamps light all points which are within 10 metres of them. So that to me, that's saying it's a circle of lamplight. And of course my scale, I'd better write that down, hadn't I? My scale is 1 centimetre equals 2 metres. So 10 metres is going to be 5 centimetres. And that's how big my circles have got to be, my lamp circles. So I use the compass and I set it to 5, and then 1 at A, so A is up here. Very inconvenient. Is it going to go? Am I going to be able to do it? Almost. Just come on, you can do this. Yes. There we go. So that's that bit of the yard. And then 1 at M, which is here. And that's that bit of the yard. Okay. Petra has 1 more lamp which can light all points within 15 metres. Well, good for Petra. So let's, and that's going to be put in the centre of the rectangle. I know that because I've read it just there. So the centre of the rectangle, so that's 7.5 along. And I'm going to move it up to the top to make sure this is all parallel. So 7.5 here, that's there, isn't it? And then we turn it round. And you really need to be going for accuracy on this, as accurate as you can. And the middle of that is 5 down. So it's just there where they meet. And this one's 15 metres, so that's going to be a compass job. And 15 metres is 7.5 centimetres by my reckoning. So there's 7.5 centimetres. stick it in the middle of the yard. Wow, what a light. And there we go. So that's everything. Is every point in the yard lit? And the answer is no, there are some unlit parts of the yard shown as shaded regions on the scale drawing. Above. Full stop. So I better shade some regions, haven't I? So that bit's not being lit by anything. Neither's that bit. And if I can get the compass out of the way, neither is this bit. Though I have to say I'm not too happy with that because I feel it should be a little more central, but I think it's fairly indisputable. There's definitely a bit down here where people could hide in the shadows. So there we are, Petra's yard. Finally, the challenge question. Well, this is difficult, isn't it? Draw a straight line 15 centimetres long. Okie dokie, there we are, 15 centimetres long. Whoops, let's make it a bit shorter. Let me make it exactly 15. Well, there we go. Remember, you need to be within 2 millimetres. Mark a point 4 centimetres from one end of the line. Okay, there it is. Label it P. Amazes me how many people don't read these things in exams. I mean, they don't mark it, but if they're going to ask you to do something, you might as well do it. Now, use ruler and compasses to draw a perpendicular to the line at P. So that means a right angle. So first of all, we're just going to do this and mark 2 points on the line. How big am I doing it? Well, if I did it too big, it would be off the end here. If it was too small, it'd be really fiddly. And then open this up, and we're going to do one of these, which it's a bit like a line bisector, except I'm just bisecting this tiny little bit of line here. Get it spot on if you can. There we go. And then we use our ruler to finish off. Just like that, and we get, and we carry it on a bit. Of course, this is a joy of computers. And there we are, that's our perpendicular. So, hope you're successful with that, and keep revising, don't worry, it's worth it in the end.